This is what the Flyers are going to be for the majority of this season. There are going to be nights like last night where they're fun as hell and play really well, and there are going to be nights where they're just freaking boring. The inconsistency is part of the building process. This team is learning how to win and how to deal with changing expectations, and those expectations are changing weekly. To start the year, we were just happy to go 1-1-1 and play relatively well against the Panthers twice and then the Carolina Hurricanes. But then after that, we're disappointed with what we see against the Senators. And then they win a couple more, but then we're pissed about those back-to-backs over the weekend when they were freaking terrible. This season is going to be a lot like last night's game, a roller coaster. And I'm here for it. First of all, content-wise, it's great. But as a fan, I'm all for an interesting season after most of what we've seen for the last 5 years. I still think they can make the playoffs if they get good enough goaltending and force enough overtime and shootouts to steal a bunch of points in one-goal games. Sure, it's on the table, but it's not my expectation they get in. If they get hot in December or January, though, look out, I'm loading up the freaking bandwagon. But we're just in a fun spot to watch these young guys entering their prime. We've been watching them a couple years now. Looks like a bunch are taking the next step, and we just get to enjoy the ride through the spring. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to Philadelphia, presented by our friends at Bet Parks. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the afternoon. Joining me live in the Xfinity Lounge, it's my producer and the host of PHLY Phillies. It is Tyler Zulli. What's going on today, Tyler?
I don't know. I'll tell you when the button wants to work.
The button's not working? Okay.
Like I think what you brought up there is kind of exactly what we're expecting from the Flyers this year, right? We're hoping for some consistent inconsistencies. We're hoping for a little bit more enjoyability, and we're looking for that step in the right direction. Danny Briere brought it up before the season started. Do they make the playoffs? Do they not? Maybe we'll see. But I think the biggest thing is competitive. I think the biggest thing is steps forward, and the biggest thing is trying to figure out of this group who probably is like the, 16-ish skaters that are part of the core for the future. We're starting to get some of those answers.
We are, and we're going to talk a lot about that today on PHLY Flyers at 4 p.m. Charlie and Kelly will be with me. Tune in then. But now it's time for some headlines, and the first headline is that ridiculous Flyers game last night. They win in a shootout, in what was absolutely a shootout. They go up 3-0 in the first period. Then somehow in the second period give up 4 goals on 9 shots. They continued to play well, but just could not get a save. They tie it in the third period. They get through overtime, which is no small feat against the Habs. The Canadians, 9 wins on the season, 5 of them in overtime. They're awesome at the 3-on-3. And then they win it in the shootout because Trevor Zegras is a freaking magician. Oh my God, this guy. It's like he was built in a lab to entertain us after 20 years of sucking at shootouts. We now have someone who's basically automatic. But that was so much fun last night. It was a ridiculous game. And I do kind of want to find out if something's wrong with the ice in Montreal or if one net is bigger. 9 goals, including the lone shootout goal. Every single one of them scored on the same net at the same end of the ice. 3 goals in the first period. Montreal, then they switch sides, scores 4. Then in the third, the Flyers get one, and then they don't switch ends for the shootout or overtime, and bang, you get that one. That was just really, really weird. But it was such a fun game, and I am hoping for so many more of those. I don't want to see Dan Vladar suck the way he did last night, because Even the saves he made were kind of scary. But I'll absolutely take it. A fun 5-4 win, especially after whatever the hell it is we watched over the weekend. But like I said in the opening, this is what they're going to be. A team that is supposed to be taking the next step. Development isn't linear. It's not an escalator. And this is what they're going to be. It's going to be a lot of forward, back, side steps this year as a team. But we just get to watch some young guys develop, and that's going to be really fun as they all take the next step in their careers. Speaking of young guys developing, the Sixers lost, but Jared McCain is back. That is great news, I feel like. It was a night of blown leads for Philly, apparently. I didn't see what was going on in the Sixers game while it was happening because we were, focused on the Flyers and then doing post-game as the 24-point lead evaporated, and our old pal Nikola Vucevic hit a 3 with 3 seconds left to cap it off. That's a lot of fun. But the Sixers are right back at it tonight against the Bulls, and it's very funny, the 3 sports we have going right now. I guess the Sixers just, if Embiid is going to be healthy, the expectations are a little different, but since it's like, yeah, man, this is Tyrese Maxey's team now. It's about Edgecombe. It's about McCain. Like, it feels as if with the Eagles, obviously, it's Super Bowl or bust. Howie Roseman basically just said that. Like, with his actions at the trade deadline, we know where they are. They are in a championship window. They are looking for greatness. Whereas the 2 teams at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, I'm just hoping to have some fun and expectations, maybe not low, but they're tempered, right? It's just kind of, if we win, we win. It's really good to see the young guys playing with this energy and putting up stats, and winning is a part of that. But it feels like both teams, like I led off with the Flyers, it's very much about seeing them grow more so than championship or bust.
Well, I think when you look at the Sixers, I think the Flyers too, but the Sixers specifically, because they do have kind of a unique situation where it's like a couple of really high-paid veterans and then some rookies and young guys that you're hoping to figure out how they grow as a core. Tyrese Maxey has been unbelievable this season. Another 39 points
39
yesterday.
Last night, yeah.
Last night's loss, I know the Bulls are 6-1. They're playing some really good basketball to start the year, but last night's loss is frustrating. You're up 18 after 1. You score 45 points in the first quarter. You score 66 points in the next 36 minutes, including just 36 in the second half. 20 points in the third, 16 in the fourth. I mean, you lose the third by 8, you lose the fourth by 13, you end up losing the game by 2. Like, if you play bad basketball down the stretch, you probably come out with like ooh, that was not the game we liked, but they won.
Yeah, they got away with it. Like,
you were so far beyond bad in the second half where you score 16 points in the fourth quarter. Like that's those types of losses. Devon always talks about the how did it happen. That was a bad how did it happen last night. If you go down 12 and then you fight back and you lose the game by 2 on the road back to back, you can have those types of conversations. Last night was a really rough loss for the Sixers.
It was. And speaking of, it was a fun night for the Flyers on the ice, but because we can't have a perfect night on the ice, of course, on the opposite coast, Cutter Gauthier, first career hat trick, scores it for the Anaheim Ducks. He now has 10 goals, which is tied for the league lead. He's got 16 points in 12 games, 7 goals and 13 points in his last 7. He is on a ridiculous heater, and I just hate him so much. I just have hatred in my heart for Cutter Gauthier because he never gave us a chance. He just said, nah, I ain't playing there, and forced his way out. And listen, that's his prerogative, but it's mine to hate him, and I do. And I'm watching this, and it makes me so freaking angry because he was my guy in that draft. And yes, I typically do pick my guy based on their name. Sure, I wanted to throw up the diamond cutter for DDP every time he scored. Thought that would be fun. Thought we could make some shirts. It would be a great time. He's here. He goes to World Juniors. He's great. He's tearing it up. Boston. And suddenly we just flip on a game one day, and as it's beginning, they're like, hey, we just traded one of our top prospects for Jamie Drysdale. That defenseman who's in a contract dispute with Anaheim. Yeah, he's ours now. And that's that. Listen, Jamie Drysdale looks to be turning into a very nice player. And if we just put the whole thing together, the two deals with Anaheim, we're watching Trevor Zegras, I'll take it. it's just like, come on, man. Why can't someone say, I'm not going to play for some other team and want to play for Philly? Why can't that happen for us? Especially a guy that gets drafted 5th overall and like is going to be an American Olympian one day. Like it's very, very freaking frustrating to see him doing so well. He got off to a slow start last year, eventually scored 20 goals, and he looked a lot like the player that I thought was like his downside. He can score, he can shoot, he's big, but he's kind of a perimeter guy. He's not going to work out at center. Now they have him on the wing, and the Ducks have a ton of centers. That's one of the reasons we have Trevor Zegras. But he's starting to develop those other parts of his game, and that's very frustrating because at least if he was like, yeah, man, he scores 20, 25 goals a year, he's an outside shooter, he's pretty good, I can live with that. But if he's going to become like the 35-plus goal guy that was his upside, that is going to be very, very annoying to me. And I just hate him. Come with us to Anaheim to boo him. Go to allphly.com/events. Book that trip. Philly Sports Trips. No one does it better. All right. We are going to talk more Trevor Zegras and the Flyers on the other side. But first, I got to tell you about our presenting sponsor. Whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx online casino app. You got to check out all their exclusive games, all their new games, so many different slots. We're talking Huff and More Puff, Fireblaze Sky Queen, slots based on your favorite streaming shows, Walking Dead, Squid Game, Breaking Bad, Peaky Blinders, and all the casino classics that you want, but right in the palm of your hand. We're talking blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, and slots like Cash Eruption, 88 Fortunes. Unlimited gaming options at the BetParx online casino app, and now is the time to get in because new users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. All you got to do is go to betparx.com, download the app right now, and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. Must be 21 and in PA, Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play. You play to win. You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, listen, whatever sport it is you're thinking about watching, you've got hockey, you've got basketball, you've got pro football coming around the corner, college football this weekend as well. Whatever it is, if you call yourself a sports fan, you have to get Xfinity because with Xfinity, you get all of the action in one place. You don't have to worry about switching or buffering or lagging and looking between the apps and trying to find out where exactly is the game that I want. No. With Xfinity, it's all right there in the palm of your hand. And if you call yourself a sports fan, you have to get Xfinity. It's the perfect fan flex with all the action right there in your living room. Plus, with Xfinity's best picture and sound enhanced with 4K, it's so clear it feels like you're in the ballpark, the arena, the stadium, whatever it may be. And sometimes you can have 4 games going at once, because why not? You can. It's part of the options, right? And on top of that, you get real-time notification and live stats right there on your TV. It is the best seat in the house every single time. So next game day, make sure that the big fan, whether it's you, your family member, your friend, isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that.
You could tell we're both radio guys because we have the perfect, like that final line of the reads. You just hit them dead on. I feel like we both just nailed the last line of our reads.
Well, I think when you do the same read so many times, you kind of have to get to it. Yeah,
especially our first commercial break reads. All right, I am flyered the hell up, and I am flyered up for one very specific reason. His name is Trevor Zegras, and dear God, is he a magician. We have not seen someone this skilled in a long, long time. We are talking prime Claude Giroux, not even 30s Claude Giroux. We're talking the G who was carrying this team in 2012, 2014. That Claude Giroux. We're talking Peter freaking Forsberg, who is the only guy in Flyers history to have scored more points in his first 13 games with the franchise than Zegras had. Zegras is tied with a bunch of guys with 15 and 13 games. They showed this graphic. I wish I grabbed it last night off the screen, Tyler. Peter Forsberg had 28 points in his first 15 games, or first 13 games with the Flyers. And listen, it was the first year out of the lockout where it was like, yeah, man, if you lift your stick off the ice, you're getting called for hooking or slashing. Like poke checks were basically illegal. We made the joke last night. So a lot of it, like the power play is going, and he did have Simone Gagne, but like Gagne was never a 40-goal scorer before Peter Forsberg. He was just absolutely incredible. But the things Zegras is doing on the ice right now, last night to set up the Cam York goal, we're on the power play. He just cuts across the center of the ice. York switches with him. All of a sudden, behind the back dish, one-timer goal. Oh, my God. It was freaking beautiful. He had a move. It didn't result in a goal. But I just saw so many semi-skilled guys try this move so many times, and it would not result in a scoring chance. It was just this through-the-legs dangle into a backhand chance last night. Montebo gloved it. It was a decent enough save and everything. But like I saw Braden Shen and JVR try that literally every time they tried to carry the puck in on the right side, and it would just like be slow, and they'd get stopped. And Zegras just does it so effortlessly, like it's just part of his game. It's not a flashy thing. It's just that's how good of a puck handler he is. It's almost like the AI crossover where it's like it's almost involuntary. This is just how he handles the puck, man. And the shootout move. I don't think I've ever seen anyone quite like this, where when he starts in the shootout, it looks like a men's league player just messing around with the puck, like in between periods or something, like, and then all of a sudden puts on a stick handling clinic like I have never seen. Like so many of these, okay, I'm just trying to open the goalie up in one spot. Zegras is 2 or 3 shootout goals so far. I think he is 2. They've been to 3 and he got ejected, so he wasn't in the other one. He's not opening the goalie up in one spot. He is just creating an entire net for himself. It's like the 5 hole's open, the glove is up, and there's so much room over here. The stick is nowhere near where it needs to be. He is confusing goalies. And it's, I know it's early. I know, like, it's not perfect yet. He's not playing center full time. There's plenty of room for him to grow. But that's freaking exciting. He has so much of a way to go, and he has been outstanding so far. 15 points in 13 games. Again, tied for second most to start a Flyers career. And we're going to talk about this on PHLY Flyers today. I made the bold prediction in our season prediction show. He would make Team USA for the Olympics. Now, it's a long way away, and Charlie and I were talking about it last night. There's still so many of the like hardcore hockey men who are like, he's not tough, he's not a hockey player, he's just out there for social media. And like he's going to have to overcome that because hockey is run by 200 hockey men. When one dies, another one gets promoted. And he's going to have to overcome that. But the fact that he's doing this for Rick Tocchet, who is like on the board of directors of the hockey men, that has to speak for something. He just got played 24 minutes last night by Rick Tocchet, who isn't John Tortorella, but he's a hard ass. He wants you to be tough. I don't see how they keep him out, especially considering shootouts are part of the Olympics, and this is the best shootout shooter ever. He's well over 60. He might be close to 70% in his career at this point. We all remember what TJ Oshie did in Sochi a few years ago. I don't want to lose that game. I want to be able to do exactly like we did and have one guy just go out and dominate. That's Trevor Zegras. He has unlimited shootout moves. I don't see a really great reason to keep him off other than, yeah, we want to be a tougher team. Like the Four Nations was one thing because they were like, we're just going to beat up Canada, see how it goes. And it worked for the first game. Then everyone got hurt because they decided to try to beat everyone up. So they like Matt Kachuk's like, yeah, my body doesn't work. I'm sorry. I'm going to sit here on the bench. But in the Olympics, it's wide open ice. There's no fighting. It's just a different style game, and it suits Zegras so well. I don't see how they keep him out. But it's hockey. They're gonna screw him somehow.
Well, you have a right to be excited about everything that he's done so far. You've brought up a ton of his stick handling abilities and what he's done on the ice, and you talk about time on the ice itself, right? He played 24 minutes last night. He's already over a minute plus more per game than he was a season ago. Last year he was at just over 17 minutes. This year he's over 18, 12. But the big thing to me, and it's why I looked at last year as like, even though he played 57 games and it was more games played than the year prior, I look at the point total of 32 and you go, that seems pretty low for a guy of this talent. And I think where it kind of equates to is like, he only took 98 shots all of last year. In his last full season in 22-23, which was obviously his best year to date at 65 points, he took 184 shots. Because you look at the shot percentage, it was 12.5% that year. He was 12.2% last year. It's not that big of a discrepancy. It's just the shot total percentages. This year, I know it's a smaller number, right? It's only 28, but he's only played 13 games. He's over 14% in his shot percentage, which means not only is he been on the ice more, his selectivity has been better.
Absolutely.
And when he is being selective, He's burying his shot at over 2% more. Again, small sample size, 13 games, but you're talking about a guy with 15 points through 13 games, where last year he had 32 points in 57. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's on pace. He's on pace for 94. Is he going to get 94? Probably not.
Doubt it.
But if he ends up as a 70-point player, 75-point player, not only is that a career high, but that's exactly the guy you were hoping him to be.
100%. And it's the way the Ducks treated him is the weirdest thing in the world to me. Like, all right, you didn't like the kind of player he was. You knew you were eventually going to trade him. That was apparent for like 2 years. So then, the injuries play a part of it, and other guys step up. But, okay, we're going to use him in a role. We're going to make him, if he wants to play center, he's going to be on the third line. We're going to put him at wing where he doesn't love to be. We're going to teach him how to check, and he's going to be like a third line grinder. We're going to teach him how to play defense. So you're going to trade him, and now you've just suppressed his value. That's why the Flyers got him at the cut rate price of Ryan Poehling, a second and a fourth, because the Ducks were just like, yeah, screw it. I guess we're just going to use him in a role he's no good at, and then we're going to tell the whole league we don't like him. And now, oh my God, we have to trade him and we got nothing for him? Oh, man. It's just the weirdest thing in the world. But, hey, thank you. The Cutter thing may not have worked out, but we got Trevor Zegras out of it. So I guess
it's that meme. Why would the league not accept a better trade? Why did we not get a first-round pick for this guy? Probably because you made him out to be like 50% of what he actually is.
He was in an open feud with his coach and GM. I don't know, man. Maybe before that comes out, you trade him like the Flyers did with Cutter Gauthier. I don't know. Just a thought here. All right, I want to talk one more hockey thing, and then we got to get to some birds on the other side. But right now, I got to tell you about Elkins Chevrolet. That's right. I love me some Elkins. They've been with us for a few weeks now, but you got to already know who's playing championship-level car deals every single day. It is our friends at Elkins Chevrolet, right off Route 73 South in Marlton. It's a three-man team, three brothers, Jason, Adam, and Josh. They're in the store every single day, calling the plays and delivering wins for their customers. There's no fumbles, no drama, no missed shots, just a hometown squad with a deep bench of Chevys and prices that'll make you cheer. They call it honking good service, and trust me, it's a slam dunk. So if you're scouting for a new Chevy or a pre-owned MVP, make your next move to Elkins Chevrolet. Real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honking good service. Shop now at elkinschevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
All right, whatever your fall activity is, whether it's hiking or biking or just going out for a walk with your partner or your kids or whatever it might be, just hanging out, right? If you're doing that with a sore knee or a stiff shoulder or nagging back pain, you're not 100%. That's where Rothman Orthopedics comes in. They are here to get you back to the life that you love. They want to make sure that this fall you're doing the things that you love doing. Their team of specialists treat all kinds of orthopedic issues from everyday strains to long-term joint pain with care that's efficient, effective, and close to home. So don't let pain keep you on the sideline. Schedule your appointment today at rothmanortho.com/PHLY. Rothman Orthopedics, your mobility, their mission.
All right, welcome back. And Tyler, I wanted to get just into the Eastern Conference standings in the NHL. Not because, Flyers, they're in a playoff spot. By total points, they are. By points percentage, they're tiebreaker, not in it. But just looking at the East, I wanted to tie this into kind of what we think is going to happen in baseball pretty soon, because the owners are, the owners. Every team in the Eastern Conference is 500 or better in the NHL. And that's hockey 500, where overtime losses are basically ties.
Where 500 is not actually 500.
Yeah, you're 6 and 7, but your one loss was in overtime, so you got a point.
Congratulations, you played an extra 5 minutes.
Yeah, because well done. Because we do things by points percentage, you got half. Well, it doesn't matter. It's basically those games don't exist. Florida Panthers 6-6-1. New York Rangers 6-6-2. Those are the two bottom teams in the Eastern Conference right now. There's one team in the East with a goal differential plus or minus in double digits. Carolina is plus 12. No other team. Let's see. Next is Pittsburgh at plus 9, and Florida's all the way down there at minus 7 through 13 games. Is this what Major League Baseball wants? To get away from being a sport of haves and have-nots, and basically, every team in the East, it's hey man, yeah, the Flyers are in Columbus, and Columbus fans are like, yeah, why wouldn't I go, man? Like, we win this game, we're 2 games over 500. Like this is a big spot for us, you know. We could get into the top 3 in the division. Like, is this kind of what baseball is looking for?
Well, to answer your question about baseball, I don't know what baseball wants. I don't think baseball knows what baseball wants.
They don't know. They don't know.
But I do think that, obviously this won't hold. You'll see some of these teams like Florida is too good to be.
They're not going to finish 500,
right? And they're not going to finish 500. And then is Buffalo really a 500 team? Probably not.
Pittsburgh's second in the conference.
Right.
That's not going to hold.
These things are going to change. But in the early portions of the season, we always talk about getting to Thanksgiving, right? Getting to Thanksgiving. If you're in a playoff spot at Thanksgiving, statistically, you have a really good chance to make the postseason. If all of these teams are within a couple of points of each other, even if it's 10, maybe not 10, but even if it's 7 or 8 points of each other, you're going to look at it and go, we think we have a chance. We're not going to sell. Now, maybe you get to February and the trade deadline rolls around and you don't, but you're going to have more teams be invested into a postseason push, at least through November, December, early January. I think that's great for hockey. I think that's great for any sport, quite frankly. Are all these teams good? No, they're not. They're going to separate themselves. But right now, they're all playing decent enough to make these November games matter. To like you said, to make you want to go, I don't really care about Ottawa, but G's coming back and they're just right. We're basically right in the same spot as them.
Yeah, it's really. I know it's like good for the sport because it'll generate more revenue, and hockey is the only gate-dependent major sport at this point, and I put major sport in quotes because it's hockey. But like every other sport, it's all about the TV deals and all the ancillary stuff. Hockey is, we need people to come into the arena and buy beers, otherwise we're making no money. Like that is very much what hockey's dependent on, and this creates that. That said, I don't know, man. I love greatness. I want to see, even if I hate the Dodgers, like I love hating them. It's a lot of fun. I want to take down that team. I want to become that team so everyone hates me. Like that's how I look at it. I like when the same teams are in it every year. Like, and it's been that way at least in the playoffs. Like the regular season's the regular season, but Florida's been to 3 straight. Like Dallas has been to the conference final, I think 4 years in a row in the West. Like Edmonton's been to the Cup 2 straight years. I like that because I know then I'm watching the best teams. I want to see the best thing. Like who doesn't like, yeah, man, double three-peats for MJ. That's why we call him the GOAT. I want to see the best thing I can see, and I feel like this isn't that, at least. And again, where most teams have played a dozen games.
Interesting, because I think that when you bring up the money aspect of it, I do think parity in a league that does require gate to be a huge part of its money, parity in that type of league is great. Because when you think, I was actually looking at valuations the other day because I was bitching about MLB owners to a buddy, and we were talking about valuations of MLB teams. Every single MLB team is worth at least $1 billion. Every single NBA team is worth at least $3 billion, and every single NFL team is worth at least $4 billion. That can't be said for the NHL. It's just not the same valuation. So I think when it comes to that league specifically, having all of these teams still be good, at least for early gate ticket sales, you are getting more people to come into the building. The Flyers fans most of the time show up and show out, no matter how good or bad. It's been 5 years, 10 years, whatever it's been, of every other year and then a rebuild, right? So that's tough to stomach if you're a casual fan. But the diehards still show up because we see it in attendance. But I do think when you have this early set of like everybody's decent, that's good for the league as a whole.
Oh, it's definitely good for the league.
Maybe not for you as a viewer.
Yeah, no, I just like as a viewer, as like, especially if I had playoff expectations or something for this team, I'd be like, great, yeah, it's awesome that no one is like head and shoulders better than us. That's really cool. But since I'm just kind of enjoying the rest of the league separately from my Flyers enjoyment, like I want to see I want to see Florida go 82-0 or something, like that's just kind of where I'm at. But,
well, like, so what's worse for a league? You have this where it's every team's playing fairly well, or you have a team like, let's go to baseball because you brought it up. Like, let's go to baseball and you think about the Pirates. The Pirates haven't signed a multi-year free agent in almost a decade.
Like, they have been, like that's. Baseball is so the outlier.
Sure,
like in
because
football,
there's no cap.
We've seen dynasties, but like the rest of the league, like a team goes worst to first and first to worst every single year in the NFL in any given division. But like all the while, the Patriots win the Super Bowl every other year. Then it's the Chiefs. Like, so it's at least there's parity in the middle. Whereas baseball, it's like, yeah, there's like 4 organizations that don't really exist. Like they're just, yeah, man, we need a team, so we set up a bunch of guys to fill out a 162 game schedule. None of them know each other. They all just met in the parking lot, and that's the Pittsburgh Pirates. Like that's basically what that organization.
Congratulations, Shane Falco. You are now.
It very much feels like the freaking replacements. All right, I do want to just hit this Eagles thing because by tomorrow it'll be over. But I saw this quote from Howie Roseman today, and I want to get your quick thought on this. He says, I think about the idea of potentially trading A.J. Brown. He says, I think that when you're trying to be a great team, it's hard to trade great players, and A.J. Brown is a great player. He wears a C for us for a reason. He's an important part of this team and of this organization. He cares about winning. He cares about his teammates. And I think when you're a team like ours that is looking forward to an opportunity to compete for a championship, you just don't get rid of guys like that. I feel very lucky to have him on our team and excited about the second half of the season with him. You know what he didn't say and all that? He said a lot of really nice things about his best receiver. He never said, oh, it was never on the table. That's a ridiculous idea. What the hell are you talking about? Trade A.J. Brown. You're out of your damn mind. He never said that. Now, you don't want to, one, set that expectation just in case it does happen in the offseason. You don't want to ever show your cards to the rest of the league. I understand. It's Howie. I trust Howie implicitly. But I just find it a little funny. He didn't say, that's stupid. Next question.
Well, I think that comes down to you don't close the door on any pot. Like if you get blown away with the trade, you might have conversations. But I think what he was trying to say there was like, we're good. He's good. We're good in part because he's good. He's not going anywhere. Like this is part of our core, and I think that's the thought process he's had on it. Is mostly just unless somebody came and offered us, the Ark of the Covenant type of thing, right? Like the answer is no. Like we're not making that type of move. Like we love AJ, and I know that there's been rumors and whatnot. Could he have said? Now we're good? Sure. But I think he did without saying it. Like, I don't think I dive as deep into it as anything else.
I just, the whole time, I was like, they're not trading A.J. Brown.
I think we all agreed on that.
That sounds like an asinine idea, especially for a team, as Howie points out. Like, we're trying to win a Super Bowl. If he's unhappy, so be it. He can go home in the offseason, and in a couple of years when our window's closed, he can go get his catches somewhere else if he doesn't like our offense. But we're trying to win a Super Bowl, and it becomes much harder to do without him. All that is, I get that part. But the idea that it was that was never serious consideration, that wasn't said. And maybe I'm just reading too deep into it. And I was just a little surprised by the quotes. That's all. All right. That is all the time we have for you on Philadelphia today. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for hanging out. Hit that like button and make sure you're following us right here on the YouTube page. Coming up, they're live right now. It's 2:03. Make sure you tune into the Eagles Show. It's amazing every single day. Follow me on Twitter at Philadelphia PHLY and follow the podcast. Just search Philadelphia. That is it. I am Bill Matz. Thank you to Tyler Zulli. Till tomorrow, be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.